Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever, where today we're going to be casting a 6v6 on Adaptive Wonder Open, which is a little bit weird to say. Either way, Team 1 is up here at the top left, Team 2 down here at the bottom right. Let's go ahead and get into introducing our players with the air player for Team 1 first, a purple Cybran by the name of Omnihaven. Going first to land, and they're going to be getting the air game going on. Moving down to the far south, we have ourselves a yellow UEF by the name of Grumpy. No, it's just Gumpy, not Grumpy. Either way. Going on to his north, we have a pink Seraphim by the name of Barnsley. Going first land. Then over here to the east, we have Pookie's Godly, Puckle's Godly, I don't know. They are an orange Aeon going first land. Then up here to the north, we have a gray Seraphim going first land by the name of Matri. And then we have a white UEF going first land by the name of Angel of Death, spelled with the stupid letter or numbers instead of letters, because you know, we can't have anything normal. We're going to go ahead and slow down the game because I'm already losing stuff. We do have somebody starting drone. That would be Big Knight, but we haven't introduced them yet, so let's go ahead and get over to the blue Cybran running the air position. Their name is going to be Weck. It's not Wreck. Jesus, a bunch of names that are close to something. I'm putting R's where they don't belong. I had Grumpy over here, his name's Gumpy, and then I wanted to call this guy Wreck, and his name is Weck. Either way up here to the north, we have a green Seraphim by the name of Regile, or Regile? I don't know. Then we have a purple UEF going by the name of Crazy Dutch Reaper. I bet they're Dutch. Just gonna say that now. Either way, Big Knight going drone very early on is a green UEF going first land. Then we have ourselves a blue Aeon going first land. And then we have a red Seraphim going first land by the name of Alfie123. Also, did I say this is Aaron? The blue Aeon is named Aaron. That's all of our players. Me over here freaking out because I cannot get through your all's names fast enough. Stop playing with so many people on maps where there's so much happening, so on. You should only do 6v6s on maps like Dual Gap, where it takes 40 minutes for somebody to try and do something. I hate Dual Gap. Don't take that advice to heart. If you send me a Dual Gap game, I can almost guarantee you, unless the game is over in exactly like 35 minutes and something interesting happened, it will not be casted. It's such a boring map to watch and play. Either way, let's go ahead and look at the map. When we press Control-Shift, we can see there's about 35,000 reclaim. It's fucking everywhere, so just send engineers out and get that reclaim. And then we can also see that the game quality is 91%. Very balanced game, you know? For 6v6, 90% is great. And most of my 6v6s, I'm seeing like high 80s at best. So, very balanced game for how many players are here. You can see that the average rating of each player, like if you average all their ratings together, is very close to each other. And we do, of course, have a lot going on. We're seeing some little bit of mech marine action over here. Going to probably get a mass extractor, which is very unfortunate for our green Seraphim, Regile. I'm probably going to fuck up some names here. I'm going to be calling people by the wrong name. There's a scoreboard up here. I record in 1080p. If I get it wrong, I'm sorry, but there's information available to you. Either way, looking around at the map, we do have a... Oh, they're arguing over who gets each mechs. Okay. Yeah, I believe those mechs do indeed go over to the purple Aeon by the name of Crazy Dutch Reaper. I'm trying to get all of these associated in my brain, and it's not quite working. We do have an Aeon Com very angry at a cliff, just absolutely blowing the heck out of it and getting some reclaim. You can see those manual reclaim orders, that Com having a little bit of a seizure, and then I'm going to go back to shooting this cliff, this little wall, this hill, that's causing issues. I guess I could call it a crater. This impediment of terrain. Matree over here making their way out, going to be getting a bunch of reclaim. These manual reclaim orders, so lovely to watch the comms do that. Manual reclaim, people. Do it more. You win more. Or if you're like me, you do it and then you forget to do other things and lose. Aaron over here going to be manual reclaiming. A bunch of reclaim going on. That's what's going on, everybody. As we look at the early reclaim numbers, luckily it's already cycled over to that, we can see that the front runners are going to be everybody over 1,000, which is going to be Crazy Dutch Reaper, Aaron, Alfie, and Puckles. It does look like Team 2 is getting pretty much double reclaim on this front, which is very interesting. Not quite as much of a focus. We do have 1, 2, 3 comms out here reclaiming for Team 2, meaning they're not going to have quite as much control in other areas. We can see that Regile is having to move their comm down to try and catch this attempted run by the Thumbs out from Matree. Of course, this is going to be dealt with pretty easily. I don't think it's going to get any kind of damage done as long as these tanks continue to pursue and these units out from Crazy Dutch Reaper continue to do their thing. We should be good. We do have the comm of Gumpy out here a little bit far forward, trying to just get some harassment done. A run-by attempt out here from Alfie 123. Meanwhile, we do have a strong push out here by Angel of Death trying to take over this top right-hand corner. We're not seeing quite the same aggression or stance on that top right-hand corner out from Regile, instead deciding to try and shore up the defenses over here in the middle, trying to keep Matree from causing issues and playing a much more defensive game. Meanwhile, on the southern flank, we can see a lot more attempts to expand out of both yellow and red, which would be Gumpy and Alfie respectively. And then we do have ourselves Crazy Dutch Reaper and Matree shooting each other. And that is, of course, a very interesting situation to have because, you know, the comms, they are shooting each other. I don't know why I say the things I say. I keep on talking and talking, hoping that eventually I'll say something smart or funny. But you know what? I don't. Like, literally everything funny I've ever said is the result of quantity over quality. I throw enough shit at the wall and some of it's funny and the other half of it's just like, oh, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Either way, we do have some bombers out over here dropping bombs on the Thumbs. Gonna make everything what rhymes with either way, we do have Auroras out here being used very efficiently, using the attack command to attack from max range and then just falling back as the approaching onslaught of enemy units come forward. We do see the bombers going to drop another bomb or not. It's going to fail its micro and fall to the ground very pitifully. Dying after just one bomb is such a bitch move. Bitch move out of that bomber out from Aaron. Meanwhile, over here, Gumpy in a very tight position. Very difficult to survive here. There's a lot of tanks. There's still enough spam. Gumpy down to 1.2 thousand health and falling. Could be dead very soon. It does have some units coming in to reinforce, as Alfie does have that gun upgrade on the comm. That's probably what caused this situation in the first place. If Alfie can manage to catch up, then Gumpy is for sure dead, but it does look like Gumpy's going to be using these strikers in order to block the movement of Alfie, and Alfie's going to fall back a little bit on that, and we do not have quite yet our first ejection. We can see Aaron being assaulted by Barnsey, who is current... Did I introduce Barnsey? Barnsey is a pink Seraphim going first land. Who the fuck knows if I introduced Barnsey? If I didn't, their nameplate's going right here. Sorry, Barnsey, I might have forgotten you. I don't remember saying your name yet, but maybe I did. Maybe I did. Maybe, did I really go from Gumpy straight over here? I don't believe that. I'm so sorry, Barnsey. I mean, I did introduce you. You did get it eventually, but there's a lot of fucking people. It's hard to keep track of. Don't hate on... Don't at me. Fuck you. Fuck everybody. Fuck everything. I'm in a fuck it mood. Either way, add it to my fuck it list. Regile is over here with some units being ineffectual as they get gunned down by a comm and decide, oh, yeah, probably shouldn't be standing here. While Alfie is being very aggressive, getting out very early, going to be pushing that comm to its limits, killing off many units, already up to 24 kills and a first rank of veterancy. If you get nano on that comm and a few other upgrades, that comm's going to be very scary. Going to be a walking experimental. Maybe we will see that. We do have a lot of Seraphim in this game. I'd love to see myself one of those absolute balls to the wall Rambo comms. We do see some Zooey artillery out from a tree trying to cancel this upgrade out from Regile as they're getting gun speed and range, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too successful. A wall of T1 PD is now out to try and stop this onslaught from Alfie, and it's going to be slightly effective, but doesn't the gun upgraded comm outrange T1 PD? Or is that just in my imagination? Nano repair on the way for Gumpy. Meanwhile, on the rest of the map, we're not seeing too much of note happening. We do see a little bit of aggression out from Angel of Death. The map has taken on this kind of circular shape as Angel of Death and Matri assault the position of Regile, and of course we have Alfie over here waging a one-comm army. He's a one-comm army waging a war, and that is exactly what his plan seems to be, making a lot of inroads over on this flank, killing off the hydrocarbon, and now going to be killing off mexes and possibly some of the production facilities. Meanwhile, a lot of the engineers have died. There's not enough build power left for Gumpy. Gumpy in a very bad position. Does manage to... No, he cancels Nano Repair, unable to finish that upgrade and seemingly forced to run away even more. Meanwhile, on the eastern flank, the opposite of the western flank, in case you didn't know, we do have a large onslaught of units out from Angel of Death, causing massive issue for our player Regile. They are in a spot of bother as power is going to start going down. We can see that as this power falls, we're going to be seeing a power stall very soon. Hydrocarbon down. Power gen's going to be going down very soon. Once this power stall starts, it's going to be very hard to pull out of, and Regile is just going to be left with a gun comm and a dream. Meanwhile, there is a renegade gunship out, but possibly doing more harm than good, as those AoE shots do manage to kill off the power gens. A little bit of friendly fire there out from Weck has managed to destroy the power out from Regile, and Regile now having to live off of borrowed power. It's kind of like living off of borrowed time, but not quite as dramatic. Meanwhile, Gumpy still in a bad position. Gumpy also, not necessarily power stalling, but doesn't have any way to spin their mass either. So Gumpy in a horrible position. We do have some T2 PD coming out from Barnsey. Yet again, I'm sorry if I didn't introduce you. I swear to God I introduced him, but maybe I didn't. Either way, Barnsey, the Pink Seraphim, is trying to come to the aid of Gumpy. Maybe not too successfully. Meanwhile, Regile in a... Oh, no, those purple units are on his team. This is really hard. There's a lot of colors, and I can't keep track of who's on whose team, but it's so crazy as Crazy Touch Reaper comes in with a gun comm to try and help out Regile, try and keep this flank secure. Regile going to be in a tough spot until they can get some power back up, but until that happens, possibly Crazy Dutch Reaper can create inroads and save things. But while this is happening, while Crazy Dutch Reaper has left their position, Puckles Godly has sent out a massive wave of Aurora to the base of Regile. Regile is just getting punched in the face over and over and over. After one punch lands from Angel of Death, another one comes out from Puckles Godly, and then, you have like Crazy Dutch Reaper coming in here trying to be like, hey, I'll help you out. Punches them back in the face, and it's just a bunch of face punches. But right now, Regile getting the worst of this boxing match known as Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever, and he is going to be in a very tough position as all of the eco dreams of this man have been ended. They have ended his whole economic career, literally. This man is now going to be living in a hovel, begging for mass. Spare some mass for a war veteran or something. Gonna be holding up cardboard signs and shit. Meanwhile, over here we can see that Blick Knight is in a not a great position. I think my phone just went off. Go back to vibrate, please. Okay, put my phone in my pocket so that way if it vibrates a whole bunch, I'll know somebody's calling me and I might need to answer that. I don't know. Blick Knight is currently doing their thing with, I don't know, something that rhymes with ang. Meanwhile, Alfie is still being relatively aggressive, causing a lot of issues. I'm constantly afraid I'm going to miss a comm dying, as there's so many comms fighting all over the place. Meanwhile, the comm of Puckle's Godly with that shield and gun upgrade is just waging an absolute path. Is just causing destruction everywhere they go. The entire base of Regile has died, but the comm of Regile is healthy and happy. This comm is still very much so alive as he continues his retreat back towards the loving embrace of his ally, Crazy Dutch Reaper, who is trying to hold up this flank alone now. We can see Regile is going to be reclaiming and sending the mass of the reclaim over to Crazy Dutch Reaper, trying to keep Reaper in a good position, good enough to keep spamming out these blazes that are being so useful. The T2 tech out very early. I've barely had time to talk about tech or economies, but I will mention this. We do have T3 air out from our purple Cybran on Team 1, and I do not believe... Well, we do have T3 air out from both of the Cybrans. Both the blue and purple Cybran have T3 air, everybody. Stop the comms. Hold the presses. Stop the comms. That's hold the presses in FA talk. Stop the comms. Stop the communications. Please. I need a moment. You've hit me with so much so quickly. I can't breathe. Meanwhile, Gumpy is in a position much akin to Regile. Just over here in a very sad state of affairs. Has a mechs, a factory, and some pigeons. Still going to be trying to produce out a bunch of units. Has been gifted over some Cybran units, which is strange. UEF Cybran working together? Huh? Who does that? Meanwhile, a lot of spammed units coming out from our air player over here. I don't know if that was a Control K or some damage done. If it was a Control K, that's surprising. It does look like a lot of damage has probably been done up here by run-bys from either, well, probably Alfie. Alfie has been getting work done. Let's just put it that way. Alfie has been doing quite a little bit over here on this flank. Meanwhile, Ilshiva's showing up on the scene, rolling in like the Seraphim police, just like, no, I'm shutting this down. You've broken the Seraphim code by attacking my ally. I've got to come in here and lay down the law. We do have some Obsidians out. Obsidian's very, very good at dealing with things, mainly enemy units. They're a very effective T2 unit. And, of course, we'll continue to kill off some of these Ilshivas. The Ilshivas buying some breathing room, buying some space. Matri trying to save their allies. Meanwhile, a mass extractor has died for Matri. Is there a tactical missile launcher out? There probably is, but I stand a snowflake's chance in hell of finding it. Oh, no, I found it. It's right here. It's out from Aaron, getting some good damage done. 2 kills and 1 vet, meaning that one of those kills was definitely this mass extractor, which was possibly a T3 mass extractor. Probably just T2, though. Meanwhile, there was a game pause. Looking at the chat, we can see that that's a lot. Yay, useless teammate. Who, me? Bick. There's no salt. I'm dying here. I need sustenance. I need salt. Bilk, just spam units or give all your shit to Crazy. Aw, that's mean. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be salty just because you're homeless now. You're just a wandering Seraphim Calm. Still amazes me every time I look at the Seraphim Calm and see the little face on it. Kind of creeps me out too. Like eye slits and like a smile. It's so weird looking. Either way, over here we can see... Oh, also, I noticed something, and maybe this is just me, but why is it on medium? Okay. 1 second, everybody. The screen went black because I forgot that happens. We're now on the high fidelity preset. I don't know why it was on lower settings, but oh my god, the game looks so much better. I've been depriving you all of very good looking gameplay because I'm an idiot, apparently. Because my machine is more than capable of running this on the higher settings. Meanwhile, over here we have pillar tanks coming out to just wreak havoc, you know? Dude, they look so much better. Why? What? This is more interesting than the game now. Why? How long has it been on medium fidelity presets? I watched another cast recently and noticed that it looked way better than my casts, like the units and all the textures and everything. It's because I've been playing on the low goddamn settings. Why? I reinstalled FA. Did it reset it to medium settings? Really? Hot damn. Shit on a stick or whatever. Meanwhile, over here, Regile and Matri shooting at each other with gun comms. Very Seraphim thing to do. Where is Alfie's comm? Alfie's comm is 4 vet, 98 kills, 7.5 mass killed. Meanwhile, as the game seems to have calmed down and we don't have as many comms becoming homeless or random shit like that happening, let's go ahead and just check out the economies of all these players and the Reclaim. Overall, Reclaim Team 2 is ahead by about 10,000, just less than 10,000. 9.4 thousand for Omni Haven, 7.2 thousand for Matri, 9.4 thousand for Barnsey, 12,000 for Angel of Death, Aaron sitting at 14,000, 11,000 for Alfie, 19,000 for Crazy Dutch Reaper, and that's all the people who have a significant number. Overall economies, let me just double check. Anything interesting going on? Nope, Regile and there's never a point where I'm going to have another time to talk about this, so this is the first and last time we go over the economies. Overall economy, 71 for our air player Omni Haven. Angel of Death sitting at 60, 53 for Matri, Puckle's God sitting at 37, 25 for Barnsey, Gumpy at 5, not surprising. I can already tell you that Regile is probably at 1. Aaron sitting at 45, Weck sitting at 80, 63 for Crazy Dutch Reaper. No, that's Alfie. Crazy Dutch Reaper sitting at 82. Blick or Bick, I don't know. Knight is sitting at 49, and Regile is at 3. Regile has 1 mass extractor. This is the mass extractor to survive the war. This is all of his economic achievement. That and some power storage, you know, the important things. Meanwhile, the common Matri getting wailed on by a lot of units, but there's a bunch of Elshivas over here to back it up, and this does look like a very... It's going to be a very hard hold, but I do think that Team 1 is going to manage to hold all of this off. We do have a lot of Mantis now out for Gumpy. It looks like those were all spammed up by our air player Omni Haven. Matri falling dangerously low on health, but is about to get another rank of veterancy, and if that happens, will not be in any risk of dying. Very possible. Overcharge going out, 6,479, just needs to kill anything, and another rank of veterancy and back up to 10,000 health on the comm. We do have a ton of Corsairs coming out trying to kill off Puckles. Puckles now shield down on that gun comm, and Puckle's going to be taking a lot of Corsair fire, but the Corsairs are missing horribly inaccurate Corsair fire there, and they are taken out by the Air Force, the ASF, out from Omni Haven, saving their team. And yes, Puckles was dancing indeed. Meanwhile, on the eastern flank, we can see that Crazy Dutch Reaper has just absolutely taken over this eastern flank, gone whole ham into expanding, taking over the old base of Regile and then some. Also going to be grabbing this hydrocarbon for good measure, has shield on the comm. What upgrade is on the way? What upgrade is this? This is shield heavy on the way for Crazy Dutch Reaper. Can they afford that? Mass-wise, no. Power-wise, hell yeah. Because they don't have mass. If they had mass, I'm pretty sure this would be too expensive. Either way, that upgrade is going quite well over the halfway point. Probably going to get on the comm, make that comm very beefy. Going to go from about 8,000 shield hit points up to, I think it goes up to like 10 or 15,000. It's a relatively good upgrade to get. Makes your comm very difficult to kill. It's kind of like getting Nana regen for your Seraphim comms, or Nano repair, whatever it is. Meanwhile, over here we do see a whole bunch of units throwing tactical missiles at the base, this forward fire base of Puckles. I'm going to be told that this is not Puckles. It's like Puckus Godly, but I's, capital I's and lowercase L's all look the same. That's why it's Blick Knight or Blight Blanite. Blick Knight. I'm gonna go with Black Knight. It's probably Blick. It's probably supposed to be Black Knight, but he didn't put the A in there, so who cares? Meanwhile, we do have a bunch of Ilshivas over here going to be dying to another bunch of Ilshivas and other various units. On the eastern flank, we are a little bit more stagnant now as the ever-present expansion of Crazy Dutch Reaper is unhalted. So much production out that if they want to take an inch, they can, and they are inching forwards towards the land territory of Angel of Death. And yeah, Jesus, I need a second to breathe. Whew. All right. I'm good now. Everybody. I can go another hour of just speaking now with that one breath. I fun fact, I've only breathed that one time this entire cast. The rest of the cast has just been me talking a whole lot. Meanwhile, over here, we do see that these tactical missile launchers, these mobile missile launchers, are going to be thwarted and pushed back by the gun comm of Puckles Godly. Meanwhile, a bunch of plank hammers firing away, causing, I would guess, mild issue because it's forcing Puckles to try and use the comm to push towards this and take out these artillery. These artillery are being focused on the main base of Puckles, which is very unfortunate for him because it looks like he's going to be losing some mass points and a lot of territory due to this. Meanwhile, on the eastern flank, it does look like there is a prepped assault out from Angel of Death and possibly Matree. Matree rallying a bunch of troops over here. Regile getting nano repair, which is a very optimistic situation. I don't think that upgrade's going to be finished anytime soon. Regile having no economy. Probably going to need assistance out from Alfie if that's ever going to complete. But then again, it's going up slowly, claiming a minute and 30-something seconds. If that is completed, it will be a very, very tanky comm. Meanwhile, that aforementioned assault does seem to be coming out as the units of Angel of Death are just sent into a meat grinder. There's a punch coming out right here from Matree trying to cause massive issue for the player known as Crazy Dutch Reaper. Going to be getting into some of these production facilities. Over here we can see that the units are slowly fading for Crazy Dutch Reaper, not quite having as many as is needed to hold this off. A bunch of Ilshivas still pushing their way in. Let's go ahead and swap back to normal view to make sure there's not a snipe or anything fancy coming in. A bunch of units dying over here. A massive mass field accruing, already 6,000 and growing. These Ilshivas are going to be thrusted deep inside the base of Crazy Dutch Reaper, who is having a hard time being able to hold such a broad front, but is attempting to hold it and hold it alone. Of course, Crazy Dutch Reaper, one of the higher rated players in the game, sitting at 1,400. The only person higher is, of course, Matree, the person who has just delivered a punch. Not quite a punch to the face, though, as the units of Angel of Death start following the path that the Ilshivas have carved, trying to get in towards the main base of Crazy Dutch Reaper. I don't know how successful this is going to be, but it is going to cause some issues for possibly the power grid of Crazy Dutch Reaper, who is currently trying to fight a fire base by themselves and going to need to fall back. Is there a snipe on the cards? I'm not seeing any snipe potential out for this, but these units, these pillars are still in the base, still causing issues. A bunch of T2 power has already died. Crazy Dutch Reaper is not in a power stall, surprisingly, but at the same time has lost a lot of production, I feel. No, hasn't lost any production. I'm just a liar. Just lost some T2 PD or pigeons for all of this. This massive assault. T2 pigeons. That's all that was lost. But still able to balance the economy is Crazy Dutch Reaper. Crazy Dutch Reaper now shoring up the defenses, trying to get themselves into a better position to deal with any further attacks. Matri has been surprisingly effective along with Puckle's God at making large attacks onto this eastern front. This eastern front going very, very well for Team 1, whereas for Team 2, this western front has absolutely just dominated, causing a complete and utter collapse of one of the players. And unlike over here with Crazy Dutch Reaper, who's re-expanded and reclaimed this territory is firmly unobtainable for Team 1. We do still have Gumpy sitting around with T2 on the comm, or possibly Nano Repair. Meanwhile, in the middle, we can see some Mongoose attempting to assault the forward position of Puckle's God. We do still have these Clink Hammers. They have managed to take some damage, though, and more have been built. And these Clink Hammers are trying to just hammer the enemy base into submission. We do not see any counter battery going up. We do have a run-by of Ilshevas attempting to make their way into the main base of the air player known as Omni Haven. Ilsheva's got style. Like, they walking around with like stilettos on. They got like high heels. You see that shit? Got goddamn high heels. Fucking objectifying robots. Is that the level we're at now? Meanwhile, some T2 mechs are going to die as a result of this. We can see that this T2 mech is very short-lived. Its life is, it's produced as much mass as it's ever going to, I'll put it that way. Meanwhile, Regile in a spot of bother, getting shot at by a Ravager and on a very low hit point indeed. Meanwhile, Crazy Dutch Reaper was taken out by... Is there a Ravager over here? By a T2 point defense? Crazy Dutch Reaper has been destroyed, possibly even by Titans. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the other comm that was about to die and doesn't quite die either. Of course, Regile dying would be a lot less impactful to the game, but with that, we have a huge vacuum on this eastern front that was entirely held up by Crazy Dutch Reaper, and now it's just a barren wasteland. We can see this massive amount of mass. There's more mass here in this screen than there was at the beginning of the match when we were all the way zoomed out. And this area is just absolutely destroyed, smothered, dismantled by a fire base out from Angel of Death, or possibly even Titans. I don't know what ended up killing Crazy Dutch Reaper with that heavy shield upgrade and all of that investment into the comm. You would think that they'd be able to run away from anything, especially with their army assisting at any given time. Meanwhile, Titans and Pillars are starting to make their way towards the main base of Weck, who is in a difficult position, but then again, the main base of Omnihaven has been dismantled, and it looks like the air HQ has gone down, so no more T3 air out from Omnihaven. Omnihaven losing so much to this simple run-by created by Alfie. Alfie and Angel of Death have absolutely put on a stellar performance. Meanwhile, we are seeing Corsairs come out to snipe Barnsey. I'm missing all of the comm explosions. Oh my word! There's so much going on. I feel like I've missed everything, but I've seen so much and seen so little at the same time. How is it possible? Explain it to me! I usually pride myself by saying, hey, I don't miss as much as Guile. Complete lie now. I've missed every comm death in this game. There's only been 2, but I've missed them. Admittedly, I was pointing out vital information. A strap bomber that was built by Omnihaven before the death of their T3 Air HQ has helped stop this Ilsheva run-by, but this Ilsheva run-by has caused such wanton destruction, or as the Chinese might say, wonton destruction. That was probably offensive. Come on, it was a little bit funny. It's a food joke. Calm down. Meanwhile, a Mercy snipe attempt onto Puckles. I wasn't going to miss that one. And the Mercies don't get the kill, but they do take away that shield and bring them down to 9,000 out of 18,000 health. Very beefy Aeon Comm. Who needs mass? Give me mass. Okay, yeah, it does look like Omnihaven has trouble spending mass at the moment, which would make a lot of sense. Matree making a chicken. Do we have any other experimentals on the way that I'm just blatantly missing? No, we have clink hammers. You don't need clink hammers, my friend. What about over here? We have like a GC or a Fat Boy or a Megalith or anything. Oh, what about you? You got a chicken of your own, Alfie? No, Alfie is assisting the comm of Regile getting advanced nano repair, going to make that comm even tankier. Regile, what upgrades are already on the comm of Regile? Regile, divulge your secrets to me. Okay, and then after that we can get Restoration Field or Splash. So Regile still has some ways to go, but with that 5 vet comm can cause massive damage. Meanwhile, the base of Puckle's God has collapsed due to this onslaught of T3 artillery and T2 spam out from Aaron. Aaron has been a solid player this entire game, just constantly assisting this flank wherever they can. Meanwhile, Regile has been gifted a bunch of Ilshivas from, I would guess, Alfie to help try and hold this eastern front. With Black Knight as well. And that was the chicken completing out from Matree, the first experimental of the game, going to be causing massive damage over here. Meanwhile, though, losing some mass extractors, something you never want to see, also going to be looking like they lost a shield right there, which could have been very dangerous if a few more artillery shells were able to land before that chicken completed. We could have seen this power grid going down. But with that, the chicken is up, already at 50 kills pretty much. Already at 1 vet. Once it finishes cleaning this up, it will be right there at 1 vet. And 1 veterancy already for that chicken. A very experienced chicken, a veteran, even though it was indeed just born. Do robots get birthed? Is that a question I want to be asking myself right now? And, yeah, my throat is killing me, but I don't have a drink right now, so we're gonna plow on through the rest of this match, and if I start coughing, you'll know why. If I start dying, you'll know that my throat has opened up a giant gash and I'm choking on my own blood. But if that happens, I do just want to say thank you all, because over the past few days, we have reached a milestone that I didn't know if I was gonna hit when I started this channel. We've reached 420 subscribers, so I have officially peaked. I am old news. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. 420. Blaze it. Meanwhile, over here we do see, of course, Ilshivas getting shot at by sniper bots. The chicken is going to be attempted to... he's going to... 1 second. Apparently, I need 3 attempts to say the same sentence. A bunch of Ilshivas over here. We've seen this before, right? We've seen Ilshivas in Omni's base. I don't need to cover this again. Meanwhile, Matree bringing the Yathoda over here to the eastern flank, going to try and use it as a cudgel to beat the remaining players of Team 2 into submission. But Team 2 being surprisingly resilient throughout all of this, and also managing to grab more ground, as Aaron has just absolutely expanded like a mad person. Just 1 second, just look. How many mass extractors you got here? How many is that? 18 plus 5 is 13 plus 5 is 28. Could have just done 5 plus 5 is 10. And then plus 18 is 28. But no, fuck it. I did it the difficult way. I did it for you all. Aren't you happy? Aren't you proud of me, Dad? Either way, I don't know why I'm being so weird. The chicken has been transferred over to Angel of Death, who has a rather intimidating army of Percivals and Titans and Parashields and a bunch of other juicy and dangerous things. We do still have this strap bomber floating around. 28 kills on that strap bomber. How is that still alive? They don't even have air production. Just run over with some ASF and kill it. Strap bomber getting way too much value. 37 kills. Strap bomber of doom right there, that revenant. Oh wait, it's a griffin? Griffin? Is it named Griffin? Oh, it's named Griffin. Oh, it's named Griffin. 1 second. This is gonna be the thumbnail. All right, there we go. I got the thumbnail. Meanwhile, we can go back to look at the wanton destruction being caused to the base of. Is it just me, or are Cyber and Air players getting shafted this game with land units? Just land units coming for. Whoa. Weck is dead. Weck is dead, everybody. Weck died. Weck controlled Cade. Weck was dead without the control K. But Weck is dead, and I can stop saying Weck. Wonderful. And now we are currently in a 4v5, even though you can argue that 2 of the players on the 5 aren't really there. Aren't they? Yeah. The main base of Gumpy. Gumpy has had the saddest story arc. Like, this is... I don't watch anime, but this is like an anime story arc where it's like... they lose their mom dies because of something they did, and then, like, it's Full Metal Alchemist. Like, their mom dies, and then they turn their brother into a suit of armor. And it's just this sad story of trying to fix the wrongs that they've done, but they're just not quite able to. I don't know how Full Metal Alchemist actually goes. I don't know if he ever fixes his brother. Meanwhile, though, Gumpy has sat here and from beginning to end has just been punched in the face over and over. T2 mass extractors on where his main base used to be. He never got to T2 mass extractors. Somebody else built T2 by somebody else, I mean Aaron. Aaron has come over here and just straight up disrespectfully built T2 mass extractors where Gumpy couldn't. And that is some serious BM if I've ever seen it. That is some psychological shit. Gumpy's gonna leave this game and gonna lose like the next 3 games because of how badly this one went. Gonna be so tilted. Or either that or Gumpy's just gonna be like, oh fuck it, I'm done for the day. That's what I would do. I would be the Gumpy who says, oh fuck it, I'm done for the day. I got super outplayed by Alfie. Alfie has been the silent hero of this game. With the Ilsheva run-bys, with the just absolutely dismantling Gumpy and everything. Like, Alfie and Aaron have been a powerhouse that hasn't been like flashy, if that makes any sense. Just making good plays and not making mistakes is a good way to win games. Meanwhile, as we apparently have a moment, let's just look at the final reclaim numbers. We have Regile sitting at 6.4k, which is impressive. Also, Regile has now gotten the splash upgrade, right? Okay, Regile now has a comm with 50,000 hit points, AoE damage on every shot, and a high rate of fire, high damage cannon. This comm is not something you can fuck around with. But let's go ahead and just look at the reclaim really quick. Regile sitting at 6.4k, Black Knight sitting at 6.2k, 59,000 for Aaron. Aaron's blowing me away right now. Aaron keeps on doing things that were crazy. Alfie sitting at 39,000, 20,000 for Gumpy. Gumpy has reclaimed a lot. 27,000 for Puckle, 16,000 for Matri, Omnihaven at 33,000, and 40,000 for Angel of Death. 61,000? They've reclaimed twice as much as was on the map when they started. That's ridiculous. Overall economies, though, we can see that Angel of Death is a front runner with 234, along with Alfie at 100 and almost 200. We're just gonna say 200. And Aaron is the leader at. Never mind. I thought they would be the leader with all those mass extractors, but they're not. 172. Overall mass generation, Team 1 is behind, which is to be expected. Matri also pumping out a nice 143, Omnihaven at 154, 19 for Puckles, and 11 for Gumpy. 1 for Regile, but Regile does have an experimental. You may be like, that's not an experimental, that's the ACU. Yeah, it's an experimental. It has more health than a Monkey Lord. Not quite as much damage, but more health than a Monkey Lord, and the ability to overcharge. I'm pretty sure that makes this go from calm to experimental. Focusing the power gen of the newly constructed air production facilities of Omnihaven. Omnihaven not apparently allowed to have air production, which is a very unfortunate situation. Meanwhile, Regile actually looking like they're in a spot of bother, but not really. You can see all of these shots going into Regile, and Regile's just like, yeah, that all you got? That tickles. Puckles Godly over here with their own upgraded gun comm, but nowhere near as scary as the comm of Regile. Regile actually falling into the yellow, which is surprising, but still means that there's 30,000 health to go. Griffin, the Strat Bomber, bombing with strategic purposes. Cerberus turrets being overcharged, you know, as they do. Meanwhile, on the eastern flank, we can see a whole bunch of units pushing in towards the former base of Wick, which is trying to be taken over by Aaron, because Aaron is like a fucking disease. If there's a spare mass extractor, Aaron will take it. Meanwhile, Regile has decided to fall back wisely at 15,000 hit points. A bunch of T2 artillery out over here trying to stop any major advancement out from Regile, but Regile has just managed to come in and kind of hinder the enemy team, just kind of keep them from trying to expand, trying to keep their economies on par, and causing a lot of issues. Meanwhile, over here we can see that Regile is sitting at a kill to loss ratio of 1.29 and a kill to 1.3 kill to loss ratio. But kill to built ratio, I've legitimately never seen this over 1. But because Regile lost all of their base and then got help with upgrades to make the comm just absolutely ridiculous, has managed to get almost 4 mass for every mass that they've spent. Like, period. Not spent. Like, spent, like, as in lost. Every mass they've lost has cost the enemy team an X amount of mass. No, every mass they've spent has cost the enemy 4 mass. That's ridiculous. That's called efficiency. Somebody call the Germans. Probably also efficient. Wow. Did Gumpy build that? Or was that transferred to Gumpy? If Gumpy built that, then kudos to Gumpy. Because Gumpy has managed to get themselves a Fat Boy, has managed to possibly even kill off these T2 mass extractors, which are just an absolute BM move out from Aaron. Regile moving the comm forward, going to be able to micro the Fat Boy fire, but regenerating 250 health a second, may be able to just tank it and walk towards the Fat Boy whole hog. The Fat Boy is going to run away. I'm waiting for the nuke or experimental that will finish this game to show up. TY for the mass. It's got a few T3 NGs. Is there anything? No. You're without a doubt the most useless player I've ever seen. Black is so angry, and so is Regile. Man, the salt is real out of the high-rated players for Team 2. Just absolutely... Aaron, why are you reclaiming his base? Damn, people really not happy with Black Knight's performance. I mean, sure, Black Knight is definitely like a level 4 UEF over here with the amount of turtle going on, but it's only a 700 rated player. Be nice. Don't be... I'm going to call this out. Regile and Crazy Dutch Reaper. You're assholes. for just beating up on a 700 rated player. They may not be new, but just because they're not good at the game is not a reason to be fucking angry at them. You know they're 700 rated. You are both 1400 and 1300 rated respectively. You should know what a 700 rated player looks like. You should have played enough games by now to know that this player is not going to live up to the expectations that you have of people at your level or of yourself. Don't be an asshole. Just stop being an asshole. Unless this person's actively griefing you, don't be an asshole. Fuck it. I don't care if somebody plays bad. We need more people playing the game so that way we have more good people playing the game. You know how you get more good people on your team and more good people playing in general? Having just more people. More people playing means that inevitably more of them will be good players, right? Come on. Don't be assholes. Encourage them. Tell them what they're doing wrong. Give them advice. Give them hints. Tell them... Be... Positive encouragement works way better. Positive reinforcement. Reinforce them positively. With a positive outcome, reinforce them. Say, good job, you're doing this right. Say, hey, this could be better. That's way better than saying you are by far the worst player I have ever seen. It's like, fucking, 1, I doubt that. 2, really? Fucking asshole. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired of seeing shit like that. I see it in a lot of games. I like Salt. I don't like Salt when it's directed at people. I just like Salt whenever it's like... I like Salt when it's not directed at your teammates, is I guess what I should say. You can be salty about the enemy, especially if you're losing and you're salty about the enemy. That's beautiful, because it's like, ha! You calling them sucky, but you losing. That's funny. But this is just... Like, you can be butthurt, but don't be an asshole. I don't know why I'm going on this so long and not talking about the game. Aaron is over here expanding. That's what Aaron is doing. Meanwhile, we have our boy Alfie, who has consistently been throwing units at the enemy. Guess what? Still throwing units at the enemy. We also have Regile doing Regile things. Gumpy is about to die. Yep, this is the death of Gumpy, everybody. 7,000, 6,000, 5,000. Went from 5,000 to 0 real fucking quick. That's the death of Gumpy. And, wow, what a shit game. Well played, Alfie. Gumpy, don't beat yourself up. Man, I'm trying to be positive here. Can we just be positive? Positive with everything but STDs. That's my motto. Meanwhile, over here we have some Seraphim doing Seraphim war upon each other. It does look like Alfie and the Calm of Regile are gonna be causing some massive damage to the base of Matri, who has been putting on a stellar performance, but it does look like Matri is now going to lose the main base, and as we have seen so many times, we're gonna have yet another homeless player, but being homeless does not mean you cannot be useful. Because if you look at the Calm of Regile, you can see he's been damn useful, killing nearly 50,000 mass worth of stuff with the Calm. That is atrocious. This is possibly the highest mass killed Calm. Calm has killed more mass than any Calm I have ever seen. But Regile is about to go down to Strat Bombers? No way. There's no way Regile goes down to Strat Bombers. That's not how this ends. There's no way this is how it ends. No, Regile, don't get underneath the shields. These T3 mobile shields gonna try and save Regile. I've probably been saying your name wrong the entire time, Regile, but it sounds good. It still sounds like it's a very flowy name. More Strat Bombers coming in. The Calm of Regile dangerously low on health. Of course, we're generating a fuck ton of health every second, but not enough. Apparently not enough. Gonna try and micro the next wave of bombers unless they somehow died. Nope, more bombs are falling. And no, that's the death of Regile, everybody. No, we've lost our homeless man with a gun. And a strategic launch out of Aaron. That's the end of the game, right? Meanwhile, Matri is also being, well, chased down by Othams. but there's a bunch of strat bombers coming in to try and salvage the situation. Meanwhile, that bomb was dropped almost directly on the comm of Angel of Death, and it does look like Angel of Death is now going to die. I guess... No, yes, they do die. I was about to say, did they survive that? With the shield on the comm and everything? Nope, unable to survive it. That's the death of Angel of Death, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the end of the game. Matree also going down. And with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody watching. You all have been beautiful. Thank you to my patrons, Timothy Calderwood, Sergeant Syphilis, and, of course, Nogthar, my new $10 a month patron. I was trying to remember the name because it happened like a few hours ago. But yeah, the Patreon is growing. If you want to support me financially, it's really going to make things easier. I am, of course... I don't want to sound like a sob story. I am perfectly fine financially, but it does help out a lot as I am unemployed currently and looking for work. But yeah, it makes these casts a lot easier to do whenever you get a few bucks. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and share it if you feel bad for my voice, which is now in tatters. And yeah, with that, thank you. Goodbye.